With ADHD, the difficulties with always feeling left out are multifold. The pervasive reality of not fitting in, constantly presented to us, is a never-ending reminder that we are in the wrong place at the wrong time. How much of this is cultural remains unknown, as it has not been studied or researched extensively. The impact, however, cannot be denied. The feelings of excruciating isolation becomes a daily challenge, measured only by the difficulty enduring it. Meaning and purpose is lost in the effort, in a perpetual struggle to hold back despair for one more day. We are a neuro-divergent species. Any fixation to a model of behavior will induce rigidity to it, with a peculiar form of social mandate to conform to it. A coalescence of forces begins to form that defends and protects it, a self-perpetuating energy that begins to attain its own autonomously based, cyclic kind of reinforcement. This we might refer to collectively as the current state of affairs that appears to rule and dictate the events of our daily lives. An invisible sentient force is generated by this cyclic activity, unseen, but of a vibrational frequency activity that in turn influences the source of its being, its existence by repeated interaction with its source, which is us. Human societies formed of such states are models of perception for the mind, for mind is ultimately the source of it. Who controls the mind rules the world, and thus the struggle for who controls this identity of mind becomes the fuel and friction, the source of all conflict, a war over who or what will dominate the mind. When the ADHD mind shuts down, it is a response to, or a rejection of, a model of perception presented as the current state of affairs, otherwise known as the status quo. A sublime rejection of this motion of reality influences the behavior of the individual, often labeled as nonconformist of all sorts. All efforts are made to correct this situation, dissuade, persuade, cajole, medicate, re-educate, and apply forceful social pressure to submit to the norms established by the status quo. Those unable are marginalized by society. Those unwilling are ridiculed. Such is the state of the ADHD mind. It cannot comply, as compliance grants legitimacy to that which is neither genuine or authentic. During turmoil of guilt and shame from existing in a world as an affront to human dignity, it is a natural response to violations of natural law and a rejection of that which is not true. The scarcity mindset used to be our source of pain and suffering. Now, overabundance is the source. We are so accustomed to experiencing the pain of living that now overabundance cannot deliver its promise. Too much of a good thing becomes its opposite, as with anything taken to its extreme. When taken to its extreme in our current mind conception of the world, this is a collective mind adjustment period. What to do now? What do we do now? Nothing. wait. Just breathe.